So our last week topic was acceptance. Now conditions experienced at the first chakra. As I have mentioned, my hope is that this book will be an atlas of consciousness for you. In that spirit, I will share common feelings and experiences aspirants have during their journey through each chakra. Depending on their sensitivity, some feel these conditions more intensely than others. The goal is not comparison or checking boxes for success, but rather to know that you might experience and to experience so that you might become. When meditate on heart chakra, we enliven that bracketed energy and are open to the gifts of a variety of conditions that promote that the most prominent include. So now here the conditions which we go through the first chakra. So now if you see the key aspect here is this depending on their sensitivity. How do you want to understand this sentence? Depending on their sensitivity. Some feel these conditions. Now when do we become sensitive? See, this question of sensitivity comes up again and again. Are we sensitive? Are you feeling? These questions come up frequently. If someone is not asking, I am asking myself. Oh, today I sat in meditation. I did not feel anything. No condition felt. In fact, Chariji said once, in Babuji's diaries, journals, when most of the journal, almost half of the journal says, today I did not feel anything. That's was Babuji's journal. And as per our understanding, Babuji is the most very sensitive person. It's not in sensitive in not in emotional aspects of it. Sensitive to understanding and feeling these conditions. So even the subtle change he would feel. And then such a personality, when they are writing in their journal, I did not feel anything today, tells you something about meditation. And now another important aspect we have to highlight here is the goal is not comparison or checking boxes for success. A lot of times, that's how we think about these chakras. Oh, I must cross this chakra, then only I'm something. I must cross here. Oh, I've been practicing for 30 years, still I'm on the second chakra. One preceptor, uh, I should not say recently, maybe about 3, 4 years back, mentioned to me that I'm still stuck on first chakra. I said, then brother, help me. So he promised me that he will take me across the chakras. Okay. So now I am kind of laughing at it. That statement is not really sarcastic. I really meant it. So how does it matter? Depending on the condition you are in, you might be at the first chakra, 13th chakra. It really doesn't matter. That's what I mean. So we kind of have this comparison. Oh, you are at this chakra, you are at that chakra. Then it kind of defeats the purpose of meditation. That is something we need to understand very clearly in our mind. If I'm at 13th point, does not indicate anything. If I'm at first point, does not indicate anything. What matters is here we are here to become. And what are we becoming? So it starts with first understanding, like I always wondered why spiritual anatomy, Babaji already said all these points. But it had to be presented to all Abhyasis in such a simple language. It has to be served on the platter. It has to make it easy to understand. And the spiritual anatomy book fulfills that goal, objective. Very simply put, easy to understand. If you really see the objective, it is giving us these aspects at each chakra, what we should be experiencing and how we become. If we are, the idea is not to become. So when you become, where is the comparison? There is no comparison. You just be. Oh, have I crossed first chakra? Doesn't matter. Just keep at it. Suddenly you will find somewhere. Suddenly you will find the next day you will find somewhere. For 6 months you don't go anywhere. Then the shifts start happening. So we should not be thinking about progress. We are here to feel and become. So feeling these conditions as they appear. That's why Babaji said a wonderful, beautiful word. It's the the true choice is where it becomes choiceless choice. Means you have only one choice. I always wondered what is he talking about, right? And then it is also explained incorrectly after that whoever spoke about it. So it's like if I go to an ice cream shop, Cold Stone, for example, you have 10 flavors in front of you. Which choice, which flavor are you going to choose? And then people talk about as if you are always choosing one ice cream, then you have a choiceless choice. That's not what choiceless choice means. Choiceless choice here, truly speaking from a meditational aspect, whatever comes as an observation, you cannot alter it, you cannot change it, you cannot say, this is not what I'm expecting. So that's why we are open to what we become sensitive to during meditation. That's what choiceless choice means. Whatever it is, we are not putting preconditions on what I should be experiencing. This is one aspect of meditation, one aspect of choiceless choice. And the second aspect is when we are meditating, whatever comes to the observation, suppose if I'm looking at something, in a way, I'm becoming aware of that thing. Now, imagine, suppose if I'm looking at a tree, if I'm observing a tree, the tree is also observing me. So when you are observing something, you also become observed. Now, the capital self is what we tend to observe in meditation. Then that capital self becomes is also observing. So that your own self, your own capital self. So here the observer becomes the observed. That's one aspect of meditation. So what has to be observed is a choiceless choice. Means whatever comes out there, whatever comes into your perception of meditation. If I say vision, then we are thinking about seeing something. It is not neither seeing nor observing. It is a true feeling. That means it's a state of witness. If you understand these aspects of meditation, then then it becomes very simple, easy. You can perceive it, you can understand it. Okay. So I'll pause here for any questions before we move on to the next paragraph.
Well, I reiterate again that I think the study of chakras is to some degree a distraction from what you said, which is much simpler.
It is a distraction because now we are making a chakra as a goal. Here, chakra is for us to, that's why Daji said it's an atlas. It kind of gives you some uh, location. It gives you some identity, some observation. That's about it. That's why meditation is a very dynamic thing. The moment you want to control the meditation, it is no longer a dynamic thing, number one. Number two, then it's the moment you want to control the meditation, it becomes a distraction. As long as I'm not putting a vision, an expectation, a projection in front of us before we meditate or before we begin our meditation, then it's a distraction. Then you're confining that meditation. Okay. Why do we, look at a simple example. A criminal is put in the prison. A prison is, no one learns at a prison. They're confined, they're controlled in an environment. Why are they controlled? Why are they put in the prison? Because they're causing certain disharmony in the society, right? So that has to be confined. So whenever a mind is thinking of confining something, it is already a disturbance, it's already a disharmony. So in order to be harmonious, I have to just be in compliance with the nature. And the true compliance with the nature happens in meditation where I don't execute any controls. The mind is always wanting, the soul, consciousness is always wanting to go into the harmony. That's why this Daji brought up a very beautiful topic. It's called entropy. What is entropy? From randomness into something which is it's moving towards the harmony, right? So understand that. That's why it's these chakras is not a distraction. It becomes a distraction because I want to be at first chakra today. Then it's the biggest distraction. That's not how it works, right? Thank you, Cliff, for bringing that up.
Well, I have a question. You
Yes.
say don't guide, but I know if I focus on the heart, I will start off feeling one way if I breathe through my nose. If I exhale through my mouth, I will feel a more intense, different way. Is that considered guiding my meditation?
No. So if I'm meditating on the heart, I mean, the whole meditation aspect is for the mind and the heart to leave it free, to find its way. That's meditation on the heart. Now, a breath is again more controlled way of doing things. Then then the breathing, that's why the breathing techniques have their own boundaries. So the boundary of a breathing technique or breathing meditation is to, one is physically center yourself, and number two is whatever the benefits you experience are at the physical level. That's why breathing feels more strong, more evident. We can easily connect with the breathing. But meditation is not, it's subtle, it's not strong. That's why in meditation we have to talk about sensitivity. In breathing, I don't have to talk about sensitivity because that level of sensitivity is already there. Because it's at a more grosser level. Whereas meditation on the divine essence is at the more subtler level. And that's why uh, in meditation it is easy to feel the distraction. In breathing, there is nothing to feel anything distracted because it's a more confined, controlled environment. Because the body is the prisoner. Whatever you do with the body is a controlled environment.
Let me restate it. I
Yeah,
guess I start that just to get me in the position, but then I don't focus on the breathing.
correct.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the correct way because, as I already stated, the breathing basically you are physically centered, which is a good thing before meditation. So I'm not discarding or discounting the breathing technique, but if you have to compare the breathing with meditation, those are the differences, right? Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Cliff, for bringing it up. Your questions always, start a very good discussion, and thank you. I like that participation. And so, feeling the presence of the divine. We'll just read this paragraph and then we can get into meditation today. So, at the first chakra, the presence of the divine is felt within and without. This means when you close your eyes, you look within. You feel the presence of something higher. Similarly, when you look at the sky or the sunrise, you feel the pervasiveness of the divine all around. Your heart begins to catch glimpses of something immense during the journey of the chakra. These glimpses are experienced in feelings of awe. You become charged with these feelings and admire nature and its creation. Very beautifully put. And there's a lot of meaning embedded in this. Now, a lot of times we say, oh, I did not feel anything. I'm not feeling the divine presence. I'm not getting any glimpses of it. This is typically you hear and you also feel personally. It's not that somebody says it and you also feel personally. The reason is because even yesterday I was sharing with someone the feeling which comes to, which we attain in meditation, what we call the condition. We always assume that whatever I am feeling is not divine. It is something else. Because we have this glorified idea of what the feeling should be. So, and also our movies, our books, scriptures describe it differently. It's like they say, oh, it is like, the thousand sunshines on your face. Now, here, the feeling of the divine which we are feeling is more subtle. There is no sun shining there. And then we assume, oh, it is not what it is. What? It's not matching with what I read. That's where the problem is, because we do not know how to trust ourselves. So that is the aspect of faith. Faith is not something about unknown. Faith is always about something known. So a true faith is whatever the condition you feel, you have to trust that feeling as the divine presence. Then only the, the conditions start developing. If I cannot trust my condition, if I think it is something else, oh, the Daji must be feeling different in meditation than what I am feeling. Then you already lost the condition which is given to you. You have thrown it away. When I'm saying you, I'm not saying you as you. When we are throwing it away. What I mean is all of us. We throw it away thinking that it is something else. That's why we cannot maintain the condition. So that's why this whole first chakra begins with acceptance. Again, I'm going back to the topic. Whatever the condition which comes to you, assume or have a trust, have faith that that is the divine condition. Once you have the trust and faith, then that condition starts refining. That's how the journey begins. If I cannot trust and have faith in that condition, faith is means accepting what is put before you. That is faith. Faith is not something else. This something else is a problem in spirituality. I mean, I'll give you this example and then we'll get into meditation, and I'll request, who do we have today? Rao Garu, are you there? Maybe you can give us the session meditation after this.
Okay, brother.
Thank you. So, what was the example I'm talking about? This is what happens when the mind is always distracting. So, we have to center it. But the good thing about meditation is once you center and begin meditation, we leave it free. Okay. So, the example was there in my mind and then I lost it. Okay, if I remember it, I'll talk about it in our next session. So we can get into meditation now.